Hey listeners, before we begin, I have some really exciting news. We just introduced another benefit for our subscribers, which is our very own Discord server. It's an awesome virtual space where Yes Also subscribers from all over the world can meet up and talk shop with each other, and it's already popping off. It's awesome. If you're already a subscriber, you'll have gotten an email from Supercast with the special invite link, and if you're not yet a subscriber, now is the perfect time. Jump into Discord, join the conversation, and nerd out with the rest of us. Welcome to Yes Also. I'm Suzi Barrett, and my guest today is a longtime pillar of the LA improv community, Ruha Taslimi. You know Ruha from their work on Dropout, and they've been on Herald teams at UCB for years, where they also play with ASCAT and Cuties and 7 Minutes in Heaven, among many other shows. The first part of this episode deals a lot with self-acceptance and honoring your instincts and some techniques for accessing more vulnerability. And in part 2, we deep dive on why Ruha loves the Herald. We talk about techniques for elevating third beats and weathering audition rejection. To access all of our part 2s, you'll become a subscriber at yesalso.supercast.com, and that'll also give you access to all of our Q&A episodes, all of our bonus episodes, and the link to join our Discord server. For more Ruha, you can check them out at UCB every second Sunday at 7 with Cuties and every third Wednesday at 7 with 7 Minutes in Heaven. And now, we take you to Ruha. Oh my goodness. Hi.
Hi.
We have so much ground to cover.
Okay, cool.
Okay, if you say so.
Hey, you're driving.
Cool.
Okay.
Get on the bus. I feel like I was ruminating about this the other day heading into this. I think you are the person that I have coached the most hours of anyone I have worked with, because you were steadily in boot camp for years. You were like the most dedicated improviser.
Yeah.
And I watched you like skyrocket. You had such a like growth curve. And even when it was like, oh, Ruha's like maxed out, you kept getting better. And it's such an argument for reps that like you're never done. You're always getting better.
Yeah.
Do you feel that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think you're always evolving. I think, human growth and performer growth are linked.
Talk about that.
Any breakthrough I have in either area is reflecting on the other one.
Yeah.
Sometimes you notice it in the performance, right? Like doing improv makes you more present, makes you a better listener, makes you learn that listening is a thing that you do with so much more than your ears. And like truly connecting, which I think is very good for me. I think that's what I'm made to do, is like vibe and
Listen with your whole butthole.
Listen with my whole butthole and like connect and like, love and build together. I think it gets, me out of my own way, or whatever that might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you talk about the personal growth being reflected and vice versa, do you have a concrete example of that comes to mind?
No.
Damn, I wish you did.
I mean, I guess to some degree, right, coming out of pandemic, like pandemic was hard on all of us, and there was also a lot of growth, because any period for me that is very challenging, there's an equal amount of leveling up. And instead of feeling rusty or, like, how do I do this? It's been years of me not talking to anyone, being inside my house. I mean, talking to people, but still, like, especially in our community, it felt like Oscar said this once, that it was like we were all rats and someone turned the lights on and, all the rats scatter.
God, it's so true.
But we were very spoiled because we like engage with and connect with way more people than your average adult.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we went from that to like
0.
Bye. And yeah, but anyway, coming out of that and taking stage again, it was just like I was better than I'd ever been. And
You
I
didn't
knew
feel
it.
rust. You knew it. That's
I knew
great.
it.
Good.
I was just like, yeah, I know exactly how to do this. I didn't, I remember feeling like I had done so many reps as far as like practice and classes and all that stuff. And I was just like, I would never need to take a class again in my life. I could if I want to, but it just felt different. I was like, I know exactly who I am and how to do this. And that's all that matters.
Yeah. And now it's not, what's the path or which path? Now it's the whole field is open and I can go any which way. And, that feeling of like, oh, there is no right or wrong. It's just moving at the speed of your own instinct and going like, what feels fun right now? I can make anything work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only thing wrong is if you're derailing stuff or, or being intentionally or like unconsciously like panicking in a way that throws everybody. But other than that, I'm like, mistakes are beautiful in improv.
Sure.
All of it gets weaved. And there was also so much joy coming back to it.
Yeah.
I missed it.
My God, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it became so clear to me that the pandemic process, I know you're crying right now. It's wild. Yeah.
But I'm like, I've never taken it for granted even a little bit ever since. Like, I'm so lucky to do this thing that I love so much.
It's oxygen.
And I know some people are like improv, but I think it's my art. I'm like, it is high art. I don't care what anyone else says. To me, it
absolutely is.
Yeah.
And to me, it's such a beautiful part of the beauty and the depth of the art is that it's a sand mandala and it's like wiped away. Mm-hmm. It's like, so that is so.
It's jazz.
Yes.
Yeah.
and there's such an egolessness just in that, in the release and in the trust that tomorrow you'll have more ideas.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. You don't need to repeat a joke or do the same thing or
think what worked last time, I'll just do that again. There's none of that.
Yeah. It's about gathering and playing.
Yeah.
Did you find improv or did improv find you?
I kind of neither. I picked it really randomly.
Talk to me about that.
I started this thing older than most.
Mm-hmm. You were 65.
I was 65 and I've been growing younger.
How old were you? I actually don't know your improv origin.
I was 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're an old soul, so you were 3 million.
Absolutely 3 million.
Yeah.
I'm both an old soul and a young one all at the same time. But I think you have to be an old soul to do that, right?
Yeah.
To be like, I'm a fresh little baby.
The wise child. Yeah.
I worked for Taslimi Construction Company. I had been bullied into it. I had gone to a high school for the arts randomly for theater. I was a dancer. I was a dancer as a kid. I
always with the aim of being a dancer, or just that was like your hobby. And
I loved it. I'd always been very clear to me and made clear to me by my family, particularly my dad, that there was no future in any art.
Only construction. Well,
construction was his dream because it was the family business. But business, law, medicine, all acceptable.
Yep.
Yeah. But, all this other stuff was a hobby. I would get weird late night talks.
Weird late night talks.
My dad would take me into our backyard at night and have these, I'm guessing, fueled by his own anxiety.
Look at the stars.
Yeah,
every one of those stars started out in engineering school.
He was just like, I just worry and you cannot, you cannot do these things. I see the things you're drawn to. You have to be, he also really wanted me to go to MIT to make up for his own. He was,
sure,
doing a lot of first generation immigrant thing, probably typical Persian dad stuff. More and more I've learned as I've seen.
As you've seen those
impressions.
Right. I was going to say, as you've followed those hashtags on Instagram, you're like, oh, I'm not alone.
Yeah. It's a support group. Everyone else thinks it's so funny. And I'm like, oh, thank God.
Right.
We all get yelled at like this.
Oh God. Well, like,
but I was born here and I wasn't like, I don't know. I wasn't ready for that. And like,
yeah. And clearly you had a proclivity for the arts and were drawn to that. And that's where your heart was and where your talent was. Did you try to kind of go the MIT route at all? Did you try to fit your peg in that hole? And
I mean, I was also good at math and I love math. And they did make me apply. I did not get in. But there was a lot of control from family for a long period of time. And I wasn't sure enough about what I wanted to do because they had also kind of created a block with me to consider what I obviously knew I liked, so I was like, I don't know, but
there's a lot of like underlying, like unconscious shame that can happen in that too, where it's like, then if you, it's almost like being a gay person growing up in a straight household, or like indoctrinated, like
also that,
sure, yeah. And like kind of being just told like that's not the path, this is the path. But it's like if you're magnetized towards that path, then what does that say about you? And like, well, why am I being drawn towards the wrong thing? Yeah, shame. Yeah.
And also I was very like myself through it all, even though it feels like I went along. I've also always been me, and I can't really just go along. So I did a bad job at going along. When I look back, I'm like, I was also always doing what I liked, no matter what they were telling me. I was still doing it. And I'm like, oh, I started this thing so late. I'm like, well, no, I've been doing it since I was 5.
Right.
I just like mentally was like, I'm not allowed. And my own queerness, like I didn't even look at it for decades.
Put it in a box.
I didn't look at it until I was letting myself do the other stuff I was allowed to do. Like, my sibling was very clearly undeniably queer, and I was watching them and how they were being treated around that. And I was like, yeah, loud and clear, no problem. I don't know who I like, but whatever.
But I'm not going to talk about it in this house.
I'm not allowed to date anyway, according to my extreme version dad, so who cares?
Right. So take me to the scene. You're 30 years old.
I'm
you're 30. Working in the office?
I stopped working for Taslimi Construction because I had a full meltdown.
Okay.
I was like, left on a like major depression terms, and I was really physically sick too. I was very unhappy, and I've dealt with different things with my body that I love so much.
And I am healthy and I am strong and I am infinite light.
I mean, listen, I have chronic things that I've dealt with, but I think they're very linked to how we feel navigating the world. It's like, how is my body not in pain when everything else is so in pain?
Right.
And it's not that it's not in pain now, but I think it's just helping me take care of it. I used to think it was my enemy back then. I was like, I feel trapped in this body. I can't do anything. So I went on like a really intense healing path. I was almost bedridden. We were looking at like hospitalizing me.
Wow.
And then I just like kind of full time, which I still do to some degree, did all these like health appointments holistically and Western, just hitting everything from all angles. But back then it was just like, it was all I could do. And including like therapy and psychiatrists and brain exams and all this stuff.
Everything.
Really fun stuff.
Yeah. Sounds like a blast.
And a therapist who was like telling me, because I'm also feeling lost. I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know who I am. I'm not good at anything. I know I don't want to do this thing I was forced to do. And like before Taslimi Construction, I had like gone to college for a bit as art history major. Then like autoimmune stuff started and kind of took me out. I dropped out. And I had been an assistant stylist for a bit, and to Johnny Woojack. Shout out Johnny Woojack.
I don't know who that is. Am I supposed to know who that is?
He's a good stylist. I think he was on America's Next Top Model for a bit. Shout out the crazy doc that's out right now.
Love it.
And worked with like Katy Perry most prominently, I think, probably. But
I don't know who that is.
We did an All American Rejects music video. Whatever. It's all good. I soda. little tail for Paris Hilton's Halloween costume.
It's great. Do you want to take that right to the camera?
I sewed a little cottontail on a pair of clear underwear for Paris Hilton's Halloween costume.
Fucking hot, man.
Yeah. Dropped it off at her. That's what she said.
Wow.
That's hot.
Wow.
And then I did this band thing a little bit. I joined my friend's band.
Wow.
And when I went on tour with this band, my parents were like, we are disowning you. Or we are disowning you and we're offering you a job at Taslimi Construction.
You are cut off unless you come back to the office.
And I was like, whatever.
Was that really what they did? Like they threatened disowning you?
No, they told me that they were doing. Well, like they were always, my dad along the way was like, if you pursue this, I'll disown you. Like with a lot of the art stuff, which I'm sure he's like really supportive now. And I'm sure he's like, what? No. Never. But it was always like, you can't, I'll disown you, you know? And I was like, well, I don't want this enough to be disowned.
And you were like, you don't own me in the first place. No human being is owned.
And you can't own me. Goodbye.
Goodbye. So you take this period off where you're on a healing journey and that's when you discovered improv?
I mean, it just like eventually at some point, which my therapist had been like, get in touch with your childhood self. What have you always liked? You know, like there are things in there, even though you think you're lost and you don't like anything. I promise there's things in there. And I was like, oh, I don't know what they are. And eventually, it was actually working with the band. I was like, how did I get there? It wasn't my band. It wasn't the one I was in, but my friend's band that we had like toured with, I was sort of, and I'd done this a couple times where I sort of managed a band, even though I wasn't a manager. And basically they would just call me the manager, but I was just like helping. I was just working the merch table and
wearing a shirt that said manager.
Mostly just wearing the shirt I made with a Sharpie that said manager. But I was just doing a lot of artistic support too. Like again, doing a thing that I was like, oh, this is sort of businessy, but I really was like, I'm not doing the business side at all. And I don't want to. I want to have ideas for music videos. I want to help make them. I want to do like that kind of support for the band. I want to style them. I want to, whatever. So it wasn't the first time I'd done it, but I was doing it for this band. And that band was called Jesus Makes the Shotgun Sound. And I even started starting my own label. And which I don't know what I was doing, and it didn't happen. It didn't come to fruition.
But it's like you can feel, at your therapist's advice that they were right. It's like you can feel this child inside of you yearning to get their fingers in all the Play-Doh and all the sandboxes. And it's like, what happens if I squeeze here and I want to touch that? And here's some finger paint. It's like you're eking out of, Yeah,
I was like, I'm trying to be around art.
Yeah.
I want
to play,
and I want to be the artist, but I haven't let myself say that yet.
Yeah,
and I hadn't done like theater or anything since high school. Really, I had chosen art history as a major. My dad hated that, so when I got sick, he was like, "Just drop out," But yeah, the band did a live score for this movie, Fantastic Planet, at the old silent movie theater. They used to book bands randomly to come and do that. And most of the time the movie plays silently and the band just jams out.
They just noodle around. Yeah.
But that movie has kind of a famous beloved score by Alain Gorgor. I hope I'm saying that right. A French composer. And they wanted to honor the original score.
Cool.
So they wanted to do basically their cover live performance of the original score. And since they were doing that, they were like, well, we should do the whole movie live. So they told me hey, can you do the voices?
Cool.
And can you lead a group? Let's gather a group of our friends to do the voices. And can you direct them to do that? And I immediately was like, yeah. You know?
And golden light poured out of your head.
It was so fun. It was so good. It was such a this is my path.
Yeah.
It definitely gave me all the tingles. I was just like, I'm supposed to be an actor. And an artist. I'm supposed to be an actor and I'm an artist. And I knew it. I'd done enough little work at that point that I was like, And my dad called me the next day and because they were like so impressed. They thought everything was so good. And my dad called me the next day. He's like, Ruha, I've just been still thinking about this show.
Cute.
I love you so much. You should have been an actor.
Fuck you.
Yeah. And I had to silence the response because I knew it wouldn't go well.
You should have disowned him.
I know. And I said, but I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? You're the one who actively blocked me from this. That all happened inside. And verbally I said, great, Dad, I'm actually thinking that is what I want to pursue. I would love, I did drop out of college. I would love if you help me. Like, I want to train. Like, I'm going to start going to school for this. And he's like, oh, great.
Wow.
They also got scared by what they saw happen to me.
Yeah.
When I worked for them,
When
they were on board for me to be my own person and become happy.
Yeah.
By then.
When your light disappears and you turn gray faced with depression and illness, it's like, oh, whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no denying that when someone's light just gets down to just the pilot. Yeah.
They never lost hope. Every once in a while, they'll be like, there's always a place for you at Taslimi Construction. And I'm like, okay. I used to get a little more upset about it because I was like, why would you want that?
Right.
You saw what happened. And now I'm just like, I don't think I'm coming, but thanks.
If you ever feel like having another nervous breakdown, we are here.
Now I've embraced it enough that my bio is like, if everything goes well, I won't have to work at Taslimi Construction again.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So how did you decide on improv?
I picked it. I don't know why.
You don't remember how it came into your consciousness?
I think it's bigger than me.
Okay.
I truly do, because I'm always like, what made me pick it? I picked this completely randomly. I had never seen a show. I was aware that there was this theater, Upright Citizens Brigade Theater, that had taken over that old like comedy theater that was there before it, on Franklin. And I was living in Silver Lake already. So I was like, oh, there's this theater in my area that has classes. And improv sounds like a thing that would make me a better actor. Mm-hmm. But truly, I don't know why.
Yeah. Wild.
And I signed up. I knew I wanted to do something, and I was like, I'm just going to take this improv. Mm-hmm. And then I fell in love.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that was going to happen at all. Yeah.
How long did it take before you fell in love?
I knew I couldn't stop pretty quickly. And you talk about how hard I worked with you. And also I wasn't sure. That was really nice to know that I am your baby.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Because you're my mentor, but I didn't totally know that I was the one you'd coached the most, or that you would feel that way.
It's not a technical statistic,
for sure, but it is big.
In the sphere of my memory of people that I've worked with, between teams coached, practice groups, and boot camp and classes, you're there for most of that. Boot camp alone. I mean, you were in boot camp for years, steadily, every month. So, and that's, how many hours a week? 10 hours a week. I mean, yeah. So, I didn't teach all of those, but half of those.
Yeah, you were there a lot.
Yeah.
And anytime you randomly did teach a UCB class, which wasn't often, I got in those too.
You got in those. You were in my favorite class I ever taught.
I loved that class.
That improv for actors class. Yeah. Talk to me about sort of lit up moments along your path of learning this stuff that felt like improv breakthroughs, or things where the light bulb went on and you were like, oh, now I'm going to do it like this, or this clarifies this concept. What are those kind of lights along the way? Yeah.
I mean, for one, I think in a sweeping way, I think I could, even though I'm a UCB baby in a way, UCB's always been my hub theater, and I never officially took classes outside of UCB other than boot camp, which still UCB people, but it was very well-rounded UCB people who had all been trained at all different improv styles.
Yeah, we were coming in with a lot of Second City IO background. Yeah.
Yep. And that's big for me. That was big for me because I don't think I could have gotten there with just
with
the
sort
UCB
of a game
style.
philosophy.
Yeah. And the people that I see that I have never seen before, that I naturally am like, oh my God, yes, usually Second City people on these days. Like I think of NAMD. Like the first time I saw NAMD play, I was like, you.
What did you
We're
love about
friends.
NAMD's play?
Well, I think the thing I like about Second City play, that is what it seems like it is to me by the people who do it, is the acting. It's the confident, like, understanding of what's funny. But the scenes just seem to be fuller scenes, really present. Like these are like present performers. Whereas UCB can sometimes lean a little, which is fine. UCB also has all of us, like, who do that more. But it leans a little in maybe its teaching or in its form to being a little more like joke.
Yeah, a little more detached.
A little more detached.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's these scenes that I'll see, like we do this show 7 Minutes in Heaven that I love so much. Just you randomly get paired with someone. Have you done it?
I haven't.
We got to get you.
Get me.
It's just 2-person scenes, 7-minute scenes, and you don't know who you're going to play with.
Love it.
Yeah.
You pull names like
pull
on
names,
stage. Oh,
like
that's great.
it's that kind of game.
Yeah.
But then you just do a scene, and it's just inspired by music at the top.
Yeah.
Of
Great.
each scene. And yeah, that's like, you know what the game is, because we all know what game actually means. It's just like knowing what's funny that's happening. But yeah, they just feel a little more like snippets of a movie or a play or one act.
You have permission to sink your heels in and dig into the reality of the scene more, because you don't have this feeling of like, there's a ticking clock and we've got to hit our game at least 3 times in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And there's a back line waiting to tag us all out.
And we have to make sure it's full, and we have to make sure that there's parts to rest. And it's like, you're not even thinking about that because it already is full.
Permission to rest. It is, you are enough. The scene is already full. Yeah.
But yeah, the breakthrough moments. One, did you get me into boot camp? I think you did.
Did I?
I have a feeling. You were one of. There were 3 performers that I saw when I started coming to shows that I was like, okay, this is for me. And it was you, Mary Holland, and Betsy.
Wow. What a compliment.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah. I didn't know if I could do what you did, but I was like, this is what I want to do. Man,
I think of those 2 as in such a different league than me. That's so nice of you. Yeah. Yeah. What were you responding to, or what? Like, I'm not saying like, why am I great?
Why am I so great?
No. But if you were to see like what was drawing you to certain performers? Like,
none of you are detached. Like at all.
It's a commitment thing.
I mean, I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Like, like everything hits Mary.
Yeah.
Everything, Betsy is like constantly reacting so authentically. Like, and you are that, and you're also a machine. You are very sharp, and that's inspiring too. Like, what a joke teller, and your confidence. Like, yeah.
I'm a little too confident. Sometimes I am like, man, I wish I was as good as I am confident.
There was a time in the pandemic, actually, in my like therapy work, where I was like, I wish I was as confident as I am on stage. And that was another breakthrough thing. And it was Eugene in boot camp who told us to like pretend we were confident.
Great.
And it was from like a TED Talk thing that was just like, there's this TED Talk that just if your posture affects your thing. And he was like, okay, just fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
And that was a big like set in with me, and I was like, okay.
We used to do that sometimes. I don't remember if I did it in that acting class or in boot camp, where I would have, instead of a warm up, have everyone stand in the Wonder Woman pose for 3 minutes. Yeah. And then we would do scenes, and that was like enough warm up just to like, get your confidence hormones up, whatever ones those are.
Yeah. There was another warm up in that class that I loved, which was the breath work one, like taking us through the emotions and just noticing how, like, what happened, like, how did you breathe differently? Because breath is so linked to where we are in a scene, or how present we are, or how we're tapped in. I'm like, can you get that sad without it affecting your breath? No. So how, like there is that physical.
Yeah.
I'm a gut player, I would say dominantly, even though I know I'm sharp. Like, but for me, the main driver is our connection and that like 360 listening.
Yes. And it's visceral. It affects you physically and emotionally right away.
Yeah.
And then you put the words on top of
They
it.
come.
Yes.
They come because if you,
Anyway, I always, when I teach emotional exercises, my instruction is always let yourself react emotionally first. So, I love the exercises where you draw your emotion ahead of time. So you don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
You know that whatever the person says, you're going to feel guilty or whatever. But it's like, let your whole body feel guilty first. Feel it, absorb it, show us. Take 3 or 4 seconds and be in it, and then put words on top of it. And your brain always comes up with the right words. Your brain will come up with a logical reason why you would feel guilty over your scene partner saying, it's a sunny day outside.
Absolutely.
Oh, God. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't make any plans for us to do something cool outside.
Right. It's such a beautiful day. We haven't had one in a long time. I could have checked the weather.
Yeah.
And instead, we're just sitting inside on the first sunny day.
Oh my God. I'm such a shitty partner. Yeah. But the breathwork exercise you're talking about is a great one for people to do in their practice groups, or for any of you out there who are teachers or coaches. Just choosing, I used to have everyone face the wall.
Yeah,
so you're in your own.
Do that stuff looking at each other.
It's too vulnerable. It's too lame.
Yeah.
But like facing the wall in your own corner of the room. Sometimes you can do eyes open or eyes closed, but you're just cordoned off in your area, and just choosing an emotion. So like pride, like what does it feel like to be proud, and taking it on a scale from 1 to 10, and like feeling how you feel in your body and how it changes your breath in your body. And once you start calibrating, like, oh, here's what a 1 on sadness feels up to 10, you start feeling the bodily changes. Now you can do the reverse in a scene. If you need to go from outside in, and you know that panic makes you panty and makes you clench your hands. Yeah. Now you can do that and initiate in your body.
Emotion come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great little hack.
It's so good.
Talk to me about, are there other like concrete light bulbs that went off?
Yes. But one of the, like a huge one was not through improv, weirdly. I did. And afterwards, I got on all the teams I hadn't gotten on, and I actually don't think it's a coincidence. But it was due for sure.
It was when you got a haircut.
It was when I got a haircut. As some people know, and I don't know, many people probably do not. It took me like 10 years to get on Maude and Harold,
which I also want to talk about.
Or close to 10 years. But I got invited randomly, and it was weirdly kind of through UCB because they wanted an improviser for this. And they didn't know I was a dancer, but they had gone to the talent page and like invited a few people to audition for this thing. And it was Jerome Bell's gala, which he's this like French choreographer. I probably invited you. I don't remember if you came.
I did not come.
Yeah. Some people came.
But let's be clear. It's probably because I couldn't.
Probably.
I was not blowing you off.
I know.
That sounds like a very cool thing to support. I definitely would have invited
you, and I think you would have been like, that sounds so cool. But yeah, it's this French choreographer who, and this piece gala is based around getting a bunch of different people from the community that it's in, where it'll be performed. And we performed it at the Ace Theater in downtown LA, which is a nice big venue. And got paid, and like they brought us together for 2 weeks of rehearsal before the show, and we had never like met each other. And some of the people were professional ballerinas, professional contemporary dancers. Like they had like a few professional dancers, but then it was his work explores every kind of body's relationship to movement.
Okay, never mind. That doesn't sound like it's for me. I wouldn't have gone to that.
Oh, yeah, totally. So there were there were children, there were very elderly community members, there were, a person in a wheelchair.
This is so cool.
And the rehearsal process, similarly to you, had a lot of us facing a wall because when we came in, it drilled in a lot of stuff I already had gotten, but it like sunk it into this deeper level, which I find all the time across life. It's like, oh, I already believe in this thing, but listening to it put by this person this way, just like really like brought me more. So it like the overall lessons were like, you, that's what we want. Like, that is all we want. Just you. What you bring, whatever version is you, is right. Don't worry about it. Because part of why they would have us face the wall during rehearsals was because half of the show was us coming out and doing a dance move however we thought, our best version of what we thought it was. And they didn't want us to watch the professionals do it right and try to do that. Like, they literally would be like, pirouette, a turn on one leg. So you did whatever you thought a turn on one leg is.
So cool.
Or, you know, like whatever you thought a leap was, etc. And everybody's is different.
Yeah.
And then the second half, we had all auditioned with like, the audition was literally like, play a song you like and just move around. And then they were like, okay, so we're going to use those for the show. Some of you will do it. And we never want it to be choreographed. If you have go-to dance moves that you kind of always do when you're moving to the song, that's fine. But like, don't ever plan it. Every time you hear the song, let it just be happening in the moment. And all the rest of us are doing our best. There's like one person in front to dance with them.
Oh, cool.
And they kept talking about, they're like, you are a vampire for this person's everything. Like, you're not just watching what moves they're making. I want you to feel like them. I want you to be like, that was that extra listening. They were like, absorb every ounce of feeling you're getting off this person and mirror it and connect to it. And it was really magical and really beautiful. And so yeah, it heightened my listening, and it heightened my I'm enough.
Yeah.
And what's special that I bring is me.
Yeah.
And that's it. And like, stop worrying about everything else.
So poetic that the access point for that was this origin art form, because you started with a love for dance. Yeah. So it like took you all the way back to the starting block and gave you the permission there. Yeah. It's really beautiful. Yeah. Also, like, man, I would love to participate in something like that, but I would also love to watch that. It's so permissive. It's so like dance is an optical illusion. It's a little bit faces or vases, because there's one aspect of the art form of dance where the art form is do it like this, do the choreography.
Yep. Sometimes they hit you with a cane or something. Oh. Or a little wood.
You pay extra for that? But then there's this other aspect of dance, which I love, which is like when I go out dancing. I love dancing. But that's like, to me, separate from the entity of like, do it right, follow the choreography, which I'm terrible at.
There is also somewhere in between in dance class and in dance training. Because I know the thing you're talking about. And then there's also the like, ballet's very like, be generous. I think there's a beautiful, I think my dancing is a big part of what makes me a performer, because you have to face yourself in the mirror and you have to like stay, like there's this like posture and your open heart and open chest. And honestly, when people tell me if I would recommend anything for them to do to be better as a performer, an improviser, or whatever, I'm like, have you never taken a dance class?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There is something to it. And I did get back to dance in so many ways. I'd been told my whole life, like, I couldn't be a professional dancer. And then in this thing we do, one, I did this huge thing with this like big choreographer, but also like I met Amy Hessler and Oscar Montoya. Yeah. And like, we do a lot of dance comedy. I've done like a music video with Amy. I've done, and I've gotten to like be a dancer. I've gotten to like, I'm like, oh, well, this is my version of what this is. And we are good. Yeah. We're not just like,
no, you're not fucking around. Yeah.
We're good. We love it. Yeah. It's fun. Oscar was pursuing it very seriously for a while as well. Amy, is a dancer. Amy is a professional. Yeah.
Talk to me when you say the phrase dance comedy. Yeah. For people who are scattered around the world and hear that and go, what do you mean dance comedy?
I mean, like,
what do you mean?
that our numbers make you laugh.
Yeah.
And while also being like fun dance numbers, that there are comedic elements at play, whether we're in character. A lot of what we do now will help Oscar for Bad Drag Race, and his character's Ozma, and we're the Osmonauts. And
so for people who aren't familiar with the show, it's a parody of RuPaul's Drag Race, and it's all bad drag characters. Bad. But it's good
also
too.
It's very good.
Yeah.
But they are sort of like, we're not professionals. We're all doing it. But some people kind of are professionals, and anyway.
And it's permission to like take bigger swings or be gross people or be garbage pail kids versions of it. Yeah. Or do weird ideas that would, But
and it was a huge thing for our queer community at UCB, because I'm sure like better than I do, the way I've seen it transform in my time here. I mean, obviously all sorts of representation has transformed since I started in 2010, but like Bad Drag Race at UCB was one of those like, oh, this is a queer show and that's so cool, and stuff like this hadn't really been happening before. It was nice.
Yeah.
I was like, there's enough of us.
There's enough. There's just enough. We're full.
When I started, I was like, you never know who everyone is, but as far as people who seemed open, like there weren't that many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to circle back to like a chapter right before when you said being a dancer has unlocked like the sort of this aspect of that it's the best thing for your improv, and you were talking about facing yourself in the mirror, and I thought, oh gosh, that sounds like counterintuitive. Like it feels like that aspect to me would make me self-conscious. Or
it does. That's why it's good to get over it. At least that was it's a positive thing to be like, it's a little brutal to do that.
To just stare yourself down and accept what you see.
Yeah, and accept what you see.
For part 2 of this episode, go to yesalso.supercast.com. If you like this podcast and you want double the content, head over to yesalso.supercast.com and subscribe. You can also help us out for free by subscribing to us on YouTube and talking us up to your improv communities. If you have a question that you'd like us to answer in one of our Q&A episodes, or a topic that you think would make a great bonus episode, put it in a 5-star review. If you're a theater who would like to host us for a live recording and improv show, let us know at yesalsopod@gmail.com. A very special thanks to our producer, Ryan Rosenberg, audio and video editor, Brian Kessler, and Britt Faye, who does our marketing. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week. No, we won't, Suzi. That's not how podcasts work. They won't even see us. They will listen to us, so it's actually the opposite of both things you said. Thanks for listening, and you will listen to us next week. Maybe. We don't know.